All right. All right, goddamn it. We finna do what we do. You know, I'm here in Vegas where it's hot. And I think I started my last video off with this. But I wonder what are you guys doing in this weather that's designed for you to be out flossing so you can catch. I'll tell you what I used to do. At about 3 o'clock, wherever I'm at, as far as whichever one of them broads place I'm at, I tell her to run my bath. And I'd sit in the living room or wherever, maybe continue laying in the bed, depends on what my mind was on. And I think about, what I wanted to wear that day. Now, when my water is perfect, baby gonna tell me to come on in and, you know, take my bath. So I'm gonna go in there and jump in the tub and take care of my grooming. But when I'm done, I'm gonna leave and go to my crib. Once I get there, I'm gonna walk into the closet, and I'm gonna start looking for something to match whatever the fuck I was thinking about as I was, waiting on my bathtub. My bath water. But let's say I said I feel mauve today. I look in my closet and choose my pair of David Eden mauve galas. Mauve is a offshoot of burgundy, or not purple, but burgundy, yeah. And of course, I got the matching belt, so I choose some mauve socks. And I want them socks to match my belt. And then I make sure my slacks and my shirt have some fucking goddamn same colors in it. Now what I'm saying is, you don't have to do what I'm saying. I'm just telling you what I do to get ready for a day like this. I don't know about you, but I match from my drawers to my socks to my belt to my slacks and shirt. And that's first things. First things first. You got to do first things first. Now that that's done, I fucking, set that shit to the side and get one of my Gino Capellis or one of Adolfo's or one of my Diamante motherfucking shirts that's going to match my belt and gaiters. Shirt, belt, shoes, socks must match if you're talking about being down for yours. I'm just saying, all of that shit has to match if you really want to be down. Now, what I'm saying is, after I make sure of that shit, I put my shoes on and I search out the perfect tie to complement everything I'm wearing. And all that tie has to do, all it needs to do is have a color that I'm wearing. I don't care if it's a minor color, as long as it's there. So what I'm saying is there are many combos you can make, with your tie and shirt, but I was thinking more on the same color type of mood. So that means a tie that has the color of my shirt and my suit in it. Once I chose that, I knotted up in a boss square knot. Then I look in my closet door mirror and get a view of what I'm gonna look like tonight. And I say to myself, damn, I'm one fly motherfucker. Then I take my jacket off, smoke me a joint, while, I choose from my 180 bottles of cologne. I'm not going to smell the same way twice in a row. That's why I got so many different bottles. What I'm saying is, first of all, after I choose a bottle, I go out and look in my backyard while I fuck with my pit. All the while fully dressed. You know why I do that? I'm gonna be real with you. Cause no other motherfucker do it. And I be fucking damned if I don't start my night out being different. Now, what I'm saying is you could run and tell all of that. Or you can just tell the point. The point is I plan every fucking thing. So, I have a plan for every goddamn thing. When you down and dirty and you out on the prowl, you don't miss much. Now, I see over there that loose bitch that I was at last night. I see her standing there and looking hungry. Do I give that bitch another chance? Shit, she might be thinking differently tonight. And then I think, yeah, that's just why I ain't fucking with that bitch. She's a flippant motherfucking bitch. A nigga on the prowl is hungrier than the Timberwolf and white around the mouth is Al Jolson. But the bitch will never know that motherfucking shit. She will never know that because the nigga playing his hand like he owned like popcorn. A nigga gotta, do what he gotta do to represent. But you do not want to fuck with a flippant bitch because shit ain't going good. Even if she in pocket as far as making a lot of money, kind of keep whatever, cute in the face, the waist look cool, all that kind of shit. A motherfucker don't want no flippant bitch. I'm just gonna save my conversation for any bitch, but that bitch. So, down the block, a little further, you see a square at the bus stop. If you like me, you don't think you need a ride on the bus. So I walk up to the bus stop and I ask, is this for the 73? Yes, she responded. Me, everything means something. So by her responding so fast, I must have some action. I'm telling you, you gotta make your action. You can't just wait for shit to be blatantly clear that you got action. You gotta see your action. You gotta make it. So I waited a second, then I asked, are you going downtown? And this bitch must have been on this motherfucking goddamn bus stop many times and niggas been at her. Cause her response was, I'm married and not available. I smiled at her and said, he's a lucky bastard. And tell him I said so. And I walked off looking at my watch. Shit. Took me 70 seconds to find out that bitch wasn't shit. I'm getting slow. See, what I'm saying is, how you'll know if you slow, if you time yourself in different things. Now, I time myself in how fast I can find out the bitch ain't worth me fucking with. Sometimes, because my record is like 14 seconds. I ain't been hungry in a while, but I know you gotta stay busy like you are hungry. So as soon as I left that bitch, I seen another bitch. And I said, say baby. And then, of course, to be continued. This is just 1 or 2 minutes in my life. You know, I question women. Now, wait a minute. Why you motherfuckers ain't calling in? Hold on. Let me make sure it ain't on me. Hey, Siri, call radio show.
Calling radio show.
Why I don't hear the motherfucker ringing? Oh shit, but I see it ringing. So let me try something else. Let me refresh the page. And then get back on it. All right. Hey Siri. Hey Siri. Call radio show.
Calling radio show.
What the fuck is going on? Okay. You know, I'm like this. Until my new shit take over, which is not going to be for another month, because I didn't want it to take over right now because I already paid for this shit I'm getting. But it ain't doing shit. But what I'm saying is, don't worry, because we going to be hooked up. My thing is this. This is, you know, what I just told you, explained, was just a couple of minutes of my life. And there's a lot of women that say men ain't shit. And they say it too fast because they used to grouping all men together with the last motherfuckers that they fucked with, which wasn't shit. So is a man who steps up to take care of someone else's kids a strong man? I discussed that with my buddies. You know, and we all had different reasons. But we really agreed on one point, and that was taking care of someone's kids does not make you a strong man. Taking care of the woman you decided to be with does. Otherwise, if you're taking care of her, it includes her kids. But basing a man's strength solely on the fact that he will take care of someone else's kid sounds too much like sucker shit to me. There's too many bullshit ways to describe shit. A strong man is just like a strong woman. Quiet unless motivated to be otherwise. Sure because of his or her confidence. Aware because of his or her position in life. Responsible because of anything that comes with balling, he or she can handle it. And they will handle it. And they are a hell of a mate. Because either one knows how to get busy when duty calls. You know, I'm talking about me and my perfect woman. But really, though, we have all these definitions of shit. And it's only because the original definition is too strong for the weak motherfuckers of today. There are strong men and women, and I know I'm one. Are you, bro? Are you, sister? We're doing a reality check right here, and we ain't talking about Joe Blow's definition. We're talking about true strength. Are you with the strong, sir or ma'am? Do you realize that tomorrow will be old in a 24 hours? I'll try to tell, myself to relax because I know shit like what I just said. And it can affect how you think. I get to thinking that I'm too old to run like I do. Then I think if I'm running just to be running, I am too old for that kind of shit. But I'm running, paving the way for my golden years. And they're right around the corner. Now, I don't know if you know, but I know if I would have done this running earlier in my life, I would be bored to death right now with nothing to do. So my thing is, old is what old does. You motherfuckers, you young motherfuckers run so that your golden years will be lived out in bliss. Old motherfuckers like me sit and enjoy the fruits of our labor, our earlier years' labor. I never did really believe that shit. And now that I could qualify to be an old motherfucker who sit and watch the goddamn days turn into night, I pass on that shit and live for my golden years because the years they determined to be golden, 60s and 70s, those are outdated years. Golden years are 80s and 90s these days. So if I put my efforts in overdrive, this shit I'm doing with y'all, just might fit the bill. It might fit the bill for me in my golden years. If not, I'm gonna just keep pushing, doing what I do. I was recently on the show and we talked about being selfish and conceited. Of course, the host was initially against either of those words and what they meant until I broke it down, and let them know how my alumni feel about those two fucking words. Ensuring your own survival and well-being, in my opinion, is not in any regards a bad thing, but it is being selfish. The very idea that it's a bad idea is ludicrous to me. This is a tool that my alumni deem important and necessary. My message is clear and it's picking up steam. As a former pimp, I have the keys to what is important to any woman. And what's important to her when it comes to a dude is this dude being a stand-up man about whatever the fuck or wherever the fuck he's coming from. I don't believe you guys really understand that it's really easier said than done. Of course, you think you're representing what you're doing or talking about, but do you, adjust shit based on what the bitch say? I love what I do these days. I've been a lucky man in all my endeavors because all of them have been rewarding in one way or another. Now it's up to you to follow the path you determine that's going to get you to where you're supposed to be in your life. If you don't have a path to follow, you're just wandering around, without any direction. I'm just saying, you haven't determined where you want to go yet. What the fuck are you waiting on? When you look in the mirror, you ask yourself, who are the three most powerful motherfucking people I know? Now, what I'm saying is, your answer should be me, myself, and I. That is a very powerful combination of personal strength. Now, what I'm saying is that's what we are talking about. That's what it's about. Look, you guys, if you have a question and you in this chat, ask your put a question mark and then ask your question. So if I do read it, I can address it. Other than that, man, I'm gonna be going without dealing with what y'all talking about. See, I believe me, myself, and I is a very powerful combination. It's a combination of personal strength that you can look at yourself and honestly say that. Tenacity can be applied to things we do every single day. And if you spell that word out and use it the way I use each letter, you can see why it's so important to understand. Tenacity. When I do spell it out, it's an acronym. I'm going to show you what each letter is for. But each letter is going to be for the first letter in a word in a complete sentence that talks about your life. T is for true or truth. You can't live without it. E is for effort. And you'll never get anywhere wanting it. So you got to go get it. The N is for never, which you will never stop striving to reach the top. The A is for allows. Having this abadabba allows you to move and think positive daily. The C is for curious. Curiosity didn't kill the cat. It woke me and a lot of you motherfuckers up. The I is for intelligence, because your intelligence will grow with the time you spend being down and dirty. The T is for two. To all I know is I'm going to. The Y is for yield, something we will never do. The sentence reads, truth and effort will never allow your curiosity to yield or give up. What a pleasure it is to go to bed and savor the thrills of chasing success. Most nights, I go to bed planning to create a path for tomorrow. But these last few nights, I've been going to bed realizing I'm already on my path for tomorrow. It just makes a major difference how you actually fall asleep. Take my advice on this, which whatever your goals are, make sure they're fucking lofty enough that when you reach them, they make you feel as if you're 40 feet tall. This year, I'm eliminating a lot of the information on past sales, and I'm starting out fresh for 2026. First off, I'm adding this consultant to the curriculum. One-on-one with me is something all my students can take advantage of. You see, there are a lot of dudes who claim to be able to teach you how to catch or get at a woman. And they tell you all kinds of things except how to get at a woman. The thing is, you don't need them. But it'd be easier if you had the correct tools. Now, what is a tool? A tool is something you can use to assist you in your endeavor. What you get in my tools are ideas and templates for real conversations that will work for you. What's more, my tools tell you the five W's: who, what, when, where, and why. What you're listening to, it tells you all those reasons it will work. To hear something about how to catch, that's one thing. But to be able to see the reasoning and understand the reasoning in action and be able to understand the W's of what's going on, who, what, when, where, and why, that's going to result in your fantasies coming true. This is what you get with each tool you buy. And the reality of it is there's no detox center for the fucking dope you about to get hooked on. My confidence course is helping me right now. Right now, as I continue traveling on the journey that I'm on. I had no idea. Caller, what's up? Hold on, bro. I'm gonna be repeating what you say because I want people to know what you're saying. They say they can't hear you. Uh, you spoke to me a few weeks ago, and you want to know what? What does think and do it mean to you? No, it don't. It don't mean none of that. No, that's why you're having a problem. Think and do it means whatever comes to your mind about a particular situation, you need to do it right then. Why? Why? Because if you think about it, let's say the situation, whatever it is about you, you want to say something to this girl and she got dudes or people around her, and you kind of afraid to go say something. The reason you should go do it is because when you think something and you go do it, you build your confidence in believing in what you think. It does not have to go on or transpire as the way you see it coming out. But as long as you go do it, you think it and do it, you're going to be addressing the raw is the most complete fucking thing to address that situation. Why? Because you haven't let it get filtered through none of the things you have experienced. Let's say it's about this woman dissing you. You've experienced that. So if you don't go on your first thought, you go on your second thought, it's gonna be tainted with all of the things that you've been through as far as experiencing that. So you don't want to go with that. You want to go with the raw thought, like animals do, like lions, tigers, and bears. They go with the first thought. The first thought is to stalk, and after they stalk it and see it's time to pounce, they do it. It may or may not end up in a dinner or a meal, but what they get, the particular animal, what they get is that's what they do. They're not discouraged because they didn't catch. They're enticed. They want to do better next time because they want to eat. And that's where you need to be mentally. You need to think like that so that everything means that much to you. You follow me? Did we sharpen? Did we sharpen that blade? Listen to me, man. Listen. You got to understand something. If you want to do something, you can let it take 5 days, or you can do it and it could take a half a day. It's up to you how you do shit. So that bullshit that you're saying right now about what you've been doing is why nothing has happened. It's because you've been doing that bullshit. Either you're gonna do it or not. So it does not take days. It takes your deciding where you coming from. If you're gonna do it, that's all it takes. And then after that, your thoughts are about how to do it. If you want to deal with it, that's what your thoughts are going to be. And then everything after thinking that is going to be how to deal with it. I don't want to deal with bullshit. I don't want you dealing with it. So I'm telling you, make your fucking mind up. What do you really want to do? Listen to me, man. Listen. Whenever you say some shit like I already know what I want to do, that means you ain't doing shit. Why? Because if you want something and you just wait on it because you want it, you're not going after it. If you want something, you should only want it for that amount of time it takes for you to want it. Every thought after that should be getting it. And you do not think like that. You think I'll keep wanting it. And as long as you want it, you're going to keep wanting it. The moment you go to get it, it might take you a day or two or whatever it takes in time, but you're going to at least get it. You follow me? Why is that the case? You know why? No. Why that's the case is because you don't believe what you think. You believe what society says you should do about this or that. And the reason I'm on point is because I'm really listening to you and I'm dealing with what you're saying. I'm not dealing with society. I'm not trying to make a motherfucker agree with me. I don't give a fuck what you think about what I say. I'm just saying what I think is true. No, 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 no. Listen, it is not. It so happens. It's that it has been a whole bunch of fucking years going on to where it looks as if I don't have to think about shit. I mean, I've done shit so many times. You can't say shit that I haven't heard before. I don't care what you're talking about. You can be talking about something very personal to you, but I've heard it before. And that puts me in a position that if I don't take advantage of it, I will allow motherfuckers to think that what they're thinking has merit. And a lot of times, what you're thinking don't have merit. It have merit if you want to be, subject to what you're thinking. But when you don't think that bullshit, you're not subject to it. And there's a whole nother horizon of things for you to look for. You follow me, bro? Hey, listen, bro, listen. This is the value or one of the values of having game. Because I don't have to be with you. I don't have to fuck with you. I don't have to, know you personally to know you. All I got to do is hear what the fuck you say. That's all I got to do. And the game in me is going to tell me what you're really hiding. And you see, I'm on point. Bro, you got to understand. It's not I'm able to listen and see that. It's that game makes you think like that. And if you think like that, you're going to see according to how you think. So what I'm saying is, if I'm thinking there's more to it, I'm gonna be looking for whatever is more to it. I don't have to tell myself you got to look for more, the hidden blah blah blah. I don't got to tell myself that because I'm not a dude that need a phone booth. Like a lot of these Supermen, they need their phone booth to change into Superman. I don't need a phone booth to change into Superbud. You know, I'm already super, but all I got to do is have the situation appear, and I'm going to do and be what it takes to handle it because I don't need a phone booth. I'm going to do it wherever I'm at, period. Well, it's not just figuring you out, bro. It's you realizing where you coming from. I've already talked to a lot of people coming from where you coming from. And I can hear what you're saying. I can hear it sound like some of these past conversations. I'm not judging you based on these past conversations, but I'm categorizing you and I'm dealing with that's me dealing with what I think. And that's why it looks like it looks. I deal with what I think. I don't question what I think. I'm not going to babble around if this is right or wrong. This is what I'm thinking, and I'm going to go with it. And 9 out of 10 times, it's the correct thing. Well, let me ask you this. If you're seeing all that, why the fuck haven't you signed up for my course? This ain't got nothing to do with the conversation the other day. This got something to do with why the fuck you still okay with you being where you at, thinking like you think, and you see all the benefits in talking to me. What didn't what didn't you understand? Well, what I'm saying is how are you gonna find out when the classes are if you haven't signed up? We all have university degrees. I got a master's in teaching and learning with technology. I got a bachelor's in sociology with an education concentration. So what I'm saying is not about what you're talking about. It's about why you haven't signed up, which you have not said anything about. So listen, bro. Think about this. If there was a lot of people that thought the way you did, I wouldn't have anybody signed up. So what I'm saying is, even signing up shows me who the fuck you are. I don't want to fuck with motherfuckers I gotta beg, to get this understanding that I gotta coax or because I'm not the guy to walk with you. I'm gonna tell you what to do, and you gotta walk on your fucking own. My point, my point is, if you can do it on your own, you can do it in real life. Period. You don't know something if you pass it because you got all the information correct and you took a test. You know something if you can take that test and pass it and take whatever the fuck you learned or as far as got score on that test out in real life and do it. That's the only way you know you're an A student. All right, all right. So, caller, what's up? What's happening with you? Wait, stop. I'm not hearing you. I'm not hearing you clearly. You don't have what? The pimping platform. You're not gonna have what I have unless you sign up and get the course. You're not gonna have what I have unless you sign up and get the course. You can't see, you can't, take a test scan or whatever the hell. You can't do none of that with this shit. You got to know what you want, and if you want this, get it. And you can't you can't pick PayPal. Oh, you only have PayPal. Well, man, if we ain't with PayPal, you can't use it. You got to use a card. Get the card, get it done, bro. The diamond has everything that the diamond has with it. It's not like gold or platinum. Gold or platinum has limited shit. Diamond gives you a whole year access to the site, and anything that new comes up, you have access to it. That's with the diamond. That's why it's 500 at once, and the others are just 50 or 100. That's every month. Hey man, listen. I'm not trying to make sales when I do this. I'm actually, trying to, tell people shit. So I'm not going to try to convince you of a goddamn thing. If you want to fuck with me, fuck with me. That's all you. That's what I'm trying to do. What everybody try to do: get all this information, which you ain't gonna get it. Make your decision and let's roll. Hey, the thing about me, I don't really care what you think as far as me, being how I be. But I know why I be the way I be, because people are full of shit. They want you to think whatever based on what they saying. But you can tell this dude was full of shit. You gotta understand. Uh, First, you gotta understand that I'm eliminating all past sales information. I really don't give a damn about what happened in the past as far as sales go. I'm starting fresh for 2026. I'm adding consulting to the curriculum. One on one with me is something all my students could take advantage of. You see, there are a lot of dudes who claim to be able to teach you how to get at, you know, women. You don't need them, but it'd be easier if you had the correct tools. What is a tool? You got to understand what the fuck is a tool. A tool is something you can use to assist you in your endeavors. What's more, my fucking tools tell you the five W's: the who, what, when, where, and why. What the fuck you doing will work. What the fuck you listening to will work. To hear something about how to catch is one thing, but to hear the why it works, the who, what, when, where, and why, to hear that, that's something big. This is what you get in each tool that you get from me. And the reality of it is there's no detox center for you to, detox from this dope you're gonna be getting. I mean, this fucking dope that you're gonna be hooked on is gonna be helping you build your confidence. And my confidence course is helping me right now as I continue traveling on this journey I'm on. Because I had no idea I would be going on, a new journey at this point in my life. I didn't. But since I understand the journey continues, even after you've thought you've arrived, if I wasn't ready for that, I wouldn't be ready for what I'm going through. What do I tell you? ABPs. And that's always be playing and you'll be ready. Because if you always playing, you ain't finna get played. I faced my fear of failing in this venture. I faced it by attacking it, with all I had. There is no giving in to fear with me. Although I experienced fear a lot, during any month. My fucking course has prepared me to critically think about anything I involve myself in. And I'm realizing the initial anxiety I experienced is only natural because of how important things are to my future. So what I'm saying is that don't be afraid of that feeling you get in your stomach. It only means what you're doing is really important to you. Now, you got to understand what I'm trying to tell you because I'm speaking a certain kind of language that only the motherfuckers that understand this, alpha lingo is really gonna understand. It makes me know, I mean, just having that knowledge makes me know I'm gonna be my usual fly self. Only caller, what's up? Caller, are you there? I guess not. So I just really want you to understand there is no giving in to fear. There is, no giving in. Caller, what's up? All right, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. I know, man. I got another phone line. It's just not established yet. It's gonna be established in October. Okay, I appreciate that. I need that update. But what I'm, really trying to get you to say, uh, get you to understand is that I didn't have any idea that I would be, at this point, on this journey in my life. I understand the shit. The struggle continues. The struggle continues long after you think you have arrived. Now, I tell you all the time, be on your ABCs, always be playing so you don't get played. I faced my fear of failing in this venture, and I faced it by attacking it with all I have. There is no giving in to fear to me, in me. Although I experience, fear a lot of the times during any given month. My course has prepared me to critically think about anything I involve myself in, anything important. And I'm realizing the initial anxiety that you get, you supposed to have. If the shit is important to you, how is it going to not matter when you're doing it? You got to understand, my whole life has been important to my future. You got to understand that. The first few lessons at SW are like elementary school, and you learn all the basics. It's all up to how fast or slow you want to go because you do this at your own pace. The next lessons are like junior high school, where you learn where and how to use what you learned in the first lessons. The last few lessons, you know, you show that you know how to own what you learned. And you do that by taking your ass out and showing the world what it is you have learned. Wouldn't it be a great thing if you was able, or we were able, to start in elementary school with all the knowledge that you gained about education? That's what you do at SWU. None of the history or math or none of that shit you used to in learning. We start over, a rebirth of you. You better get on this. Life is giving you a do-over. The one, the one-on-ones that we have are like an after-school program where you get tutored in your understanding of the course. Now, I don't, know what all should be included, but I do know it'll be your time with me to express your concerns. Okay, now I did understand. I do understand that you're not hearing the callers, but I can't. If that's the case, stop doing the show because I won't have a show. But what I'm saying is, I do have in place for October a new number to start, and I will post it. And it's supposed to be where I don't go through this shit. I'm out.